dramatized organ right here is responsible for controlling other body functions by use of chemical messages that are called hormones. They're responsible for growth and digestion. So if any of you experienced a little growth spurt during puberty, which should be most of you, then you can thank your pituitary gland for that. And if not, well, join the club. Saddle. Alright, so that wraps up the limbic system. Now, there's one more brain system that we haven't covered yet. Does anyone know what it is? Come on, anyone. Alright, I'll give you a hint. It's the oldest brain structure in the brain. Yes?
The brainstem?
Yeah, good. Excellent. We happen to know that the brainstem is the oldest structure in the brain because it controls the most basic life functions, like heartbeat and breathing. You might also hear it called the reptilian brain.
Why is it called the reptile brain?
Well, because that's pretty much all a reptile has in its head. See, before we were mammals, we didn't have the ability to process emotion or think with reason like we do now.
Not some pretty weird stuff. The reptile brain and everything, that sounds pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
You know?
No!
So you think the teacher's wrong? I mean, you think you know better than he does?
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I know someone who does.
Who's that?
Well, call me crazy, but my Bible tells me we were created in the image of God, and that's what I believe.
Oh, well, to each his own.
Stan, let me ask you something. If you died today and ended up face to face with God, and he asked you why he should let you in heaven, what would you tell him?
I don't know, I'm not really that religious.
Well, we've been friends for a long time, and I wouldn't be telling you this if I didn't care about you. I believe there's a heaven and a hell, and you need Jesus to get to heaven. So, here. Here. Can you read that when you get the chance? You've got nothing to lose by reading it.
Yeah, okay, check it out. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
What?
I say you should be ashamed of yourself. I heard what you're saying to that guy.
What's wrong with what I said?
Don't pretend like you don't know what I'm talking about. You're shoving religion down his throat, and I find that extremely offensive.
Well, I don't find that offensive at all. I was telling him how to get to heaven.
Yeah, it is. Listen, you can believe what you want, but don't try telling other people what to believe.
Really? Is that what you believe?
Yeah, it's arrogant and disrespectful.
Well, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but when you tell me not to force my beliefs on other people, do you know what you're doing?
What?
You're forcing your beliefs on me.
Oh, give me a break. It is not the same thing. I mean, think about it. How can we all get along if we religious people won't let people believe what they want to believe?
Well, people can believe what they want to believe. You think just because someone listens to me that they no longer have a choice in what they believe? Listen, I think you've got your priorities wrong. Why do I share my faith with anyone?
Probably because your religion tells you to.
No. It's because if I'm right and hell is a real place, then why would I not try and get people out of it? What's your name?
Sam?
Sam, if everyone in the world had a fatal disease and you knew the cure, would you keep it a secret?
Of course I wouldn't, but that's not the same thing.
Yes, it is. Everyone in the world is infected with a fatal disease called sin. And because of it, everyone is spiritually dead.
And then they have to spend eternity in hell? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah.
Well, that's barbaric. How can you believe in something so horrible? I mean, how can you serve a God who does that to people?
You're making it sound like it's his fault or something, or that we don't deserve it. Well, God is the perfect judge. He sees every bad thing we've ever done, even the bad thoughts we think. So everyone is guilty of breaking his laws.
But that's crazy. No one could ever live to that kind of standard.
You're absolutely right about that. That's why God had to do it for us. Last year, when my best friend told me about what Jesus did for me, I told him I didn't want religion shoved down my throat either.
And what did he say?
He said, God never forces us to do anything. We always have a choice.